What's up, folks? This is Josh back here from Inside Wrestling Truth. Uh, Back with another football video, Pittsburgh Steelers football video. Um, I had to make it today because yesterday I was so pissed off and I was almost embarrassed for the way the Pittsburgh Steelers played at Cleveland. We all know they lost 31 to 10. I'm not going to go over game details because there's really nothing to go over except for Pittsburgh couldn't stop the pass. They couldn't do anything on offense. Um, you know, the Steelers are 3-3, but I sit here and I wonder, how have they won 3 games? They played the only game up until this point that they played good football in was at Carolina in the beginning of the Cleveland game, week 1. Now people want me to not want have been asking me, you know, on Facebook, what do I think is wrong with the Steelers? Well, first off, injuries, but that's not an excuse. Penalties, that's not an excuse either. The Steelers have a lot of talent on their team. Now, if you go back and watch my, I think it was week 2 video or week 4, I can't remember which one it was. I told you what they needed to do to make some changes. Now, I guess, I'm with everybody that says Todd Haley needs to go. Yes, he does. His offense is horrible. It just racks up a bunch of yards, and then the plays that he calls in the red zone are horrible. The Steelers leave with 3 points, and with a new young defense, you got to score touchdowns. But I think Mike Tomlin needs to be fired. I think Tomlin needs to go. I think Haley needs to go. Now you ask me, what coach do you think the Steelers should get? I don't care who they get as long as they can coach, as long as they can keep a team motivated. There's a big difference in the National Football League in working hard and working smart. Now, you can work as hard as you want every week in practice, but if you're not learning anything, if you're not going over detail of what you need to improve on, you're going to be the same shit, and I definitely think that Mike Tomlin needs to be fired after this season. Todd Haley definitely needs to be canned. Um, Roethlisberger's getting up there in age in the draft this year. I would definitely go after a quarterback and a cornerback. Um, I think it's going to be a long year for the Steelers unless some miracle happens where they turn it around. Now, I'm a diehard Steelers fan, but I also speak the truth. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. The Steelers got their ass handed to them yesterday by a team that they are way more talented than, and they should have handled easy. They've always handled easy. I know Cleveland's improved. I'm not taking anything away from Cleveland at all. I know they're an improved football team. But if you look at it on paper, we are way more talented than them. And to leave Cleveland, when was the last time we left Cleveland with 10 fucking points? I can't remember. I mean, Cleveland's only beat us, 4 times since 95? Just saying, there needs to be some changes made in Pittsburgh. Um, the Rooneys, they know what they're doing. But if I was them, the first thing I would do would have a meeting, emergency meeting, and be like, guys, what's going on here? Each week when the Steelers win, Mike Tomlin talks about how well prepared he had his team, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But when they lose, he ducks every question that's asked. This guy, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. But let's be real. He won the Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's players It's just like when Tubby Smith coached the University of Kentucky and he won a championship with Rick Pitino's guys. If you remember that back in the late 90s. It's the same shit. There's no motivation here. There's no chemistry here. There's no discipline. There's no anything. Now, I'm not trying to be cocky. I respect a lot of other franchises out there like the Giants, the 49ers, the Packers. I respect those franchises. I'm a Steelers fan. But anybody that knows the history of football knows that the Steelers are a storied franchise, and Mike Tomlin has pretty much buried them and made them look like a joke. Um, this will be the third year in a row they don't make the playoffs. Um, so, in my honest opinion, moving forward with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the future, I would definitely get rid of Tomlin and Todd Haley, and I would draft a quarterback to sit behind Roethlisberger and learn for a year or two. If he comes back, I don't know. I believe this is the last year of his contract. He may not be back either. Uh, we just have to wait and see. But these are just my thoughts. I know a lot of my Steeler buddies out there are going to get mad for this video. But before you knock Todd Haley, I agree he's horrible. But it starts up top with Mike Tomlin. You got to get him out of there also. Because Mike Tomlin has lost his team. He lost his team a few years ago. The Steelers really haven't been the same team since they lost the Super Bowl to Green Bay, in my opinion. But these are all facts, and this is just my opinion on the current situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are a mess. I don't really see them winning too many more games, and they have the Houston Texans next week on Monday Night Football, which they will probably get blown out. And then, it gets harder after that. They have Indianapolis, and they have the Ravens. So it's going to be a long year for the Steelers and the Steelers fans. But this has just been my Week 6 NFL football video where the Steelers fall to 3-3 after getting smoked by the Browns 31-10. Hats off to the Browns. They're improving, and their schedule is really soft, so they're going to win some games. Their next 2 games, they play the 2 worst teams in the league, Jacksonville and Oakland. Honestly, I think Baltimore will walk away with this division. Cincinnati's already falling apart, and you never know what you're going to get with Cleveland. But we'll just have to see. But got more wrestling videos coming. Got Monday Night Raw tonight. Hopefully it ain't the same show that I've seen the last 2 weeks. And I'll see y'all guys later. Peace.